Imagine stepping back into the majestic era of the Abbasid Caliphate. We're talking about a profoundly rich era defined by faith, justice, and truly ultimate leadership. Today's explainer takes us through the incredible story of Caliph Al-Mu'tasim Billah, and we're going to see exactly how one single desperate moment ended up altering the entire course of history. Why are you calling Mu'tasim? Will he come on a white horse to save you? Listen to the arrogance in those words. This was a cruel, mocking taunt delivered by an oppressive enemy soldier to a completely helpless captive. It was a moment of sheer despair, met with nothing but absolute disdain. But as we'll uncover, this very specific, mocking question actually set the stage for one of the most awe-inspiring, epic responses in the annals of history. Chapter 1. The Fall of Zabatra, when the Muslim borders were breached. To really understand the gravity of this, we have to look at how the peace of these ancient lands was just violently shattered. The enemy king, Theophilus, launched a sudden, totally brutal assault on the Muslim border city of Zabatra. Enemy soldiers tore through the streets, engaging in widespread looting without an ounce of mercy. And amidst all this terrifying chaos, the tragedy deepened even further when innocent women were violently taken as captives. It was a dark, catastrophic day for the people of Zabatra, a day where honestly, all hope seemed entirely lost. Chapter 2. A cry for help. A single voice in the darkness. So picture the dust and the devastation of this captured city. Out of all the citizens there, history remembers one specific prisoner, an innocent Muslim woman. Standing in the ruins of her home, she faced a Roman soldier. In a devastating display of cruelty, he struck her hard across the face, subjecting her to terrible humiliation and physical agony. Stripped of her freedom, stripped of her dignity, she reacted not with defeated silence, but with a plea that carried the sheer weight of absolute desperation. Her cry pierced right through the chaos. Wa Mu'tasima, O Mu'tasim, where are you? She wasn't just crying out in pain, you see. She called upon the leader of the faithful, Caliph Al-Mu'tasim, with this profound, unshakable faith, almost as if he were standing right beside her. And it was in response to this very cry that the Roman soldier just laughed and delivered that mocking taunt we heard earlier about the white horse. He genuinely believed she was just shouting into the void. Chapter 3. The Unfinished Glass. A vow made in Baghdad. But here's the thing, she was absolutely not shouting into the void. The contrast between these two worlds is just staggering. A world away from the grim suffering in Zabatra sat Caliph Al-Mu'tasim. He was resting comfortably in immense power, sitting on his throne in the grand, prosperous royal palace of Baghdad. The distance between the oppressed and the powerful was vast, separated by massive geography and totally different circumstances. But that immense distance was about to be shattered in an instant. The caliph was simply resting in his court, holding a glass of water, just about to take a drink. Suddenly, a breathless messenger literally bursts into the royal court, recounting everything. He details the tragic fate of Zabatra, the looting, and crucially, he relays the poor woman's desperate cry of Wa Mu'tasima, right alongside the soldier's cruel mockery. A fierce, righteous anger completely overtook the caliph. He physically reacted on the spot, immediately putting his half-filled glass of water down on the ground. Turning to his court, with immense gravity and a profound warmth in his heart for his people, he made a monumental declaration. By Allah, I will not drink this glass of water until I free her. And he meant it. He immediately ordered his horses to be readied. He didn't pause to form a committee. He didn't wait for a better military season. The cry of one single poor woman was enough to make the most powerful man in the empire refuse even a sip of water until absolute justice was served. Chapter 4. The Invincible Walls Fall. The March on Ammuria. So, the caliph mobilized a massive, awe-inspiring army, setting out from Baghdad with a singular, righteous purpose. But notice this, he wasn't just driven by blind fury. He was a brilliantly calculated tactician. He absolutely could have marched directly back to Zabatra to reclaim it. Instead, showing profound military wisdom, he chose Ammuria. Why? Because it was the birthplace of the enemy, King Theophilus. He intended to strike right at the very heart of the oppressor's pride. Meanwhile, the enemy over in Amorium rested incredibly comfortably. They were arrogant. They held this deeply ingrained, entirely false belief that the grand, ancient walls of their magnificent city were utterly invincible. They genuinely thought they could never be breached by any army on earth, feeling completely and totally untouchable. But they were wrong. The sheer size of Caliph Al-Mu'tasim's arriving army was a physical manifestation of his righteous fury. They rolled in and employed heavy siege weapons, raining down an unrelenting fire upon those so-called invincible walls. That cozy illusion of safety was entirely shattered brick by brick, ultimately leading to the complete and total conquest of the grand city of Amorium. Chapter 5. Promise on a White Horse. A Vow Fulfilled. As the dust of the intense siege finally settled, the city had officially fallen. Remember that arrogant Roman soldier's taunt from the very beginning? Will he come on a white horse to save you? Well, after conquering the city, Caliph Al-Mu'tasim mounted a white horse. He rode right through the conquered smoky streets of Almuria, completely bypassing the riches and the palaces, and he headed straight for the dark, damp prison where those captives were being held. He dismounted, stepped right into that prison, found the very woman who had been struck, and stood directly before her. And he delivered this deeply spiritual, incredibly emotional reassurance. "Oh sister, bear witness that your Mu'tasim has come to fulfill his duty." He had literally heard her cry across the vastness of an entire empire, and he arrived, exactly as that mocking soldier joked, on a white horse, to restore her dignity and her freedom. And right in that very moment, a servant stepped forward. He presented the Caliph with the very same half-filled glass of water. It had been carefully preserved and carried all the way from his grand palace in Baghdad. With the woman finally freed and his sacred vow totally fulfilled, Caliph Al-Mu'tasim took his drink. You know, this history is so much more than just a military victory. It beautifully showcases the heavy, undeniable responsibility of a true leader, to actually feel the visceral pain of their people. It illustrates the unmatched power of a sincere, desperate plea reaching up to the heavens. And it perfectly demonstrates a divine balance, showing boundless mercy for the oppressed, right alongside absolute justice for the oppressor. It's truly a timeless testament to the profound brotherhood and unity of the Ummah. So, it leaves us with this massive question. If a leader could move an entire empire just for the cry of one single unknown woman, what is our duty to the oppressed today? Take a moment to think deeply on how we can apply this incredible standard of mercy, kindness, and active justice in our own modern lives. If you want to continue exploring the epic, deeply spiritual histories of our past with us, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Until next time, may peace be with you.